Wow, I'm really nervous, but I'm excited to be doing this. But yeah, okay, let's get into it. Yeah, hello. It's a good day to have a good day. Yeah, so as you can tell by the title, I'm doing things a little differently. It's not a vlog, nothing like that. Thought I'd just do a little quick sit down video for you guys about my breakup. Oh man, it's about to get really vulnerable up in here. Jeez, I didn't think I was gonna cry already. So back in January, when I was in Vegas, right after the countdown, I posted this clip. 2019 also put me through probably one of like top 10 hardest things I've ever been through, and that was a breakup that I went through a few months ago from my boyfriend of almost 7 years. And that was about 4 months after the breakup, and now it is September 2020 and it has officially been a year. The reason I'm making this video is because I just remember being so lost at what to do, where to turn. I went to the place where you look up tutorials and videos and all that, so I went to YouTube. I turned to YouTube. And I literally typed in breakup, how to deal with a breakup, how to get over a breakup, how to deal with heartbreak. And I just remember I just needed someone to connect to that was going through what I was going through. I needed my emotions to be validated. I wanted someone to relate to that was going through this. I just didn't want to feel alone. And so that's the reason why I'm making this. One, because maybe someone else is going through what I went through, or someone else has the same emotions, or maybe it'll make someone else feel like what they're going through is okay and what they're feeling is valid. And two, I'm making this for me. I've come a long way in a year, and I'm really proud of myself, and it's just a good thing to just reflect and highlight my growth and how much I've changed. But yeah, basically, I'm not here to spill any tea or like start any drama. But you know, I just want to put my story out there. Basically, the story of my relationship is we had known each other for a very long time, grew up together, went to the same school all throughout elementary, middle school, high school. Started dating end of high school, pretty much senior year. Went to prom together. And then summer after senior year happened, we spent pretty much every day together. But then we decided to do long distance because I had to go away for college for 4 years. So then I went away, we did long distance, and those were probably the 4 hardest years of our relationship. We knew right off the bat that we were just not the most compatible for each other. We were very different. We disagreed on most things. A lot of arguments, a lot of late nights, just trying to settle things over a video call, which is hard, and you're doing it hundreds of miles away, and then reuniting for only like a couple hours on a weekend or during a break. But yeah, we eventually, you know, survived those 4 years of long distance. I graduated, I moved back home, and, you know, started my job, and we got to see each other more, which was good. But throughout the last couple of years, we still just could not resolve our differences. And it came to the point where one of those nights we just had an argument, and we ended up not talking for a couple days. And then one night I just received a text from him, and he said he wanted to break up. And I just remember feeling something just sink into my stomach, and I was just in disbelief, and I couldn't believe what I was reading. We ended up meeting up and talking it out, and after about like 2 hours, it was over. He ended things. I fought really hard to keep the relationship together at that moment, but he didn't want it, and I didn't want to fight anymore. And I just remember driving away feeling absolutely numb. And I remember that night I didn't sleep a wink. I stayed up just replaying everything in our relationship, that conversation we had 50 million times all night long. Eventually I fell asleep for maybe an hour. I woke up and I didn't believe it happened. And so I guess I was in denial. And then I had to go downstairs and tell my family. And I guess the reason why I'm so sad is just all these emotions. Even though it was a year has passed, all the feelings, I just remember being absolutely crushed. My world was like turned upside down, 180 degrees. Yeah. And so I just remember that day I could not stop crying just all day. But that was a Sunday event, and I had to go back to work the next day. I just remember going to work that Monday, and you know, it's one of those things where someone asks, "Oh, are you okay?" and you just start crying. So I was in my cubicle crying. But I made it through the workday, and then I came home and I cried some more. And that went on for days, maybe even a week. But I just remember this like constant pit in my stomach and in my chest that just wouldn't go away, and I wanted it to go away so bad. But yeah, it was probably one of like the hardest moments in times in my life, like other than, you know, going through a death in the family or things like that. It's very similar to grieving a lost person, but the person's still alive, and the person, you know, chose to leave your life. But yeah, I remember just having to pick myself up every day. Getting out of bed was hard, but I had to do it. And waking up and realizing it was all real every morning was a hard truth to swallow. But I knew I had to accept this breakup. I knew within a couple of days that, looking back, this wasn't the guy for me. That this relationship was not a healthy relationship. That I deserved more, he deserved more, we were just not compatible. The hardest part was that I guess we had spent 6 years of our lives together. We're the same age, so that's a quarter of our life. And being so young, that's a significant amount of our lives, especially as young adults. You know, we started dating right at the thick of where you make the most transformation in your young adult life, you know, transitioning from high school to college and going to college and growing up, getting a job and all those things. So as pivotal of a time as that was, adding on a relationship, a difficult relationship, a long distance relationship, a young relationship on top of that. It made a lot of impact. You know, he was my prom date. He was my first kiss. He was there for me through all the ups and downs, the big milestones, everything. So it was a hard pill to swallow when it all ended. We had planned our futures together. We were gonna move in, get engaged, and get married, had talked about kids and where we wanted to live and the type of house we had and the pets we wanted to have and all that. We planned our futures together. So when that ended, of course, I was devastated. It's a hard thing to accept and a hard thing to move on from. But if anything, it got better. It really did get better. And it didn't just happen overnight. And it took a lot of work and a lot of people to help me get there. It took a lot of strength, a lot of courage, a lot of bravery, a lot of nights crying. But yeah, the things that got me through it were first and foremost like my faith. I prayed every second I could because that's all I had when I was alone, by myself with my thoughts and my insecurities and my worries and things like that. Secondly, my friends and my family are the absolute best. They are my rocks. They are my support system. I don't think I could have gotten through any of this without them. Just being there for me, comforting me, sending me encouraging messages, calling me to make sure I had eaten or gone to work that day or gotten out of bed, and just checking in on me and just encouraging me and supporting me and things like that. I really do owe them so much gratitude. I'm so thankful for them. So if you're one of my friends or one of my relatives or family members, thank you so much. I love you so much. One of the biggest things that I think has helped me is journaling. I have this breakup journal. Well, it has Miss Lovely Cardi B on here. Michelle actually gave me this for my 24th birthday. And, you know, she encouraged me to use it to just talk about, you know, being 24 and things like that. But a month after I turned 24, I was dumped. So this became my breakup journal. And I guess I liked it because of the essence of Cardi B and who she is. And she's an inspiring woman. So I told myself that at least once a month on my breakup anniversary, month anniversaries, whatever you want to call it, I would write in here. And I would just write however I was feeling. I would write any just encouraging messages that I needed, or any quotes or cliches or anything I needed to get me through it. The best thing I think is in this was a year ago, I put in my first entry. I'll put a little snippet, but I wrote to myself, P.S. I hope I'm reading this 1 year later, and I'm happy and independent and proud of myself for how far I've come. And that's my signature, and it says 10 days post breakup. And it's just wild, y'all, because now I'm 1 year from that pretty much, and I'm happy and I'm independent and I'm so much stronger and I've grown so much. And I just remember feeling like I was never gonna get out. Like I was in a hole that I was never gonna get out of. And I really am just proud of myself. I never thought I could get over someone that I thought was gonna be my forever. I had grown so codependent on this person that they became my life, and I didn't think I could be as independent as I am now. Like 6 years was a big part of my life, but now I've already spent 1/6 of that time on my own, and I never thought that I could go a day without this person. But now I'm a whole year without them, and it's an amazing feeling. I just feel free because for the first time in my young adult life, I can live my life for me. I have been living my life for me for the past year, and it's been so rewarding and so fulfilling. None of that would have happened without this breakup. This past year, I learned so much about myself. I grew so much. I gained so much strength. I was able to pour my love into not only the people that I had in my life, but myself. I was able to figure out myself, my hobbies, the things I liked, the things I didn't like. I got to put time into myself and the effort into myself. I got to be selfish. And I know that sounds bad, but for the first 18 years of my life, I had my parents that raised me, and I lived under their household, under their rules. And then I went to college and I was in a relationship, and I had to think of another person. Even after graduation, I had to think of another person, where there was where I lived, my job, things I did and stuff. I had another person to take into consideration. But now at this point in my life, it's kind of like that rebirth where I have a newfound freedom, and at the end of the day, everything happens for a reason, and I know it was meant to happen at that time and at that point in my life, because honestly, I think I was ready, and I think everything aligned for it to happen. And I just remember writing that when it happened, this was about to kickstart one of the greatest journeys of growth for me that I could ever go through at this point in my life. And it really did. So, looking back at this past year, even though it started out with tears and heartbreak, it has been filled with travel, adventure, love, support, growth, lessons, and so many memories. And so, if you're watching this and you went through something like I went through, if you're going through heartache or heartbreak, as cliche as it sounds, it gets better. It really does. Be proud of your little wins every day. Yes, your heart was broken, but you weren't. Healing is not linear. It's a roller coaster. But be excited for this next chapter in your life, because me being 1 year out, it has been one of the most pivotal, exciting, and I'd say best chapters of my life so far. And I can't be more thankful for the breakup, because it really did change my life. So if anything, it does get better, and I really hope this video gives you hope that better days are coming. That is what I've been going through. I went through a breakup from a 6-year relationship, and this is me 1 year later, and I'm so thankful. And if it wasn't for this breakup, I would have never started this YouTube channel, which has always been a dream of mine. So I'm so excited for this channel and my life and all the new chapters. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. thank you so much for watching. Thank you for letting me share this part of me, this side of me. Yeah, I just really appreciate it. And as always, every day is a good day to have a good day. Be safe, stay healthy, and be kind. Thanks, y'all.